I'm getting ready to turn up to SpongeBob.
Krabby Step, to the left, to the left. That is such a tune.
That hasn't come yet, so I'm guessing it's your number one. You're watching Two Brains. This brain is Marlon.
This brain is Liv.
And today we are doing our final video
in our series.
Of our December series.
Yes.
With the top 20 songs of the year.
So we're hitting our top 5 today. So 5 through 1 for each of us.
Mm-hmm. And stick around to the end of the video because we'll also be reacting to Hummingbird Mag's 10 to 6. Alright, so let's flip a coin. Let's see who goes first.
Heads.
Oh, so you're going
first. This is the first time I've gone first. Okay.
Okay, so you're number 5?
My number 5 from my favourite album of 2020.
Oh, okay,
yes.
Cool. Which song is this?
This is Check the Lock. Mm-hmm. This is one of those
Every time I walk through the door. That one.
Yeah, Check the Lock. Every time I walk. Yes, that one. Uh-huh. The reason this is like so much of this album is of course very dark and abrasive, but this is one of the more like traditional straight up hip hop songs.
Right. Okay.
And it's not necessarily the one I think is the best. I just think it's the one that's so like tightly written in terms of the story.
Okay.
It's just so nice.
Hood used to check phone when he pull up flexing. Now we check under the hood before he start the engine. Came out with stash out, something didn't smell right. No signal, head on a swivel, hand on the center console with the pistol.
Do you know what makes like the best like storytelling in not just in rap songs but in songs? It's the little tiny details. So this whole story is about this guy who's seemingly like this guy who's like come out of like the crime game. And he's super paranoid about like people coming up and like run him up on him. Right. And because this whole album is like very horror film inspired, it's like they're applying the tropes of horror films to this crime guy. So in his mind, he feels like he's living in a horror film. Right. It's horrific to him.
But he check the lock every time he walk by the door. Check the lock every time he walk by the door. Check the lock every time he walk by the door.
I love all these songs build as well. They all build.
I was just thinking it's a really big build.
Yeah.
So what's your favourite bit?
I mean, it's some of the bars. Like he's like one of the bars that V says is that he ain't gone soft just because he got Olay.
Olay?
As in, he hasn't gone soft just because he got Olay, and he brings it back to the manicure bar.
Right.
So he always like leaves these little Easter eggs and he comes back to it. Okay. But my favorite bit is just when it gets like more and more intense.
On the trigger case they figure
it's a fun day Sunday. No, he don't play. No day Monday. No, he gon' play. He ain't gone soft just cause he got Olay on his head now. BBS clean. I love that when he continues the bar. He hasn't gone soft just cause he got Olay on his hands. He continues that bar.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my favorite album of the year. It could have been almost any song from there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, cool. Okay, so this is my number 5.
I've actually forgotten the title of this song. It's the title of the song, right?
Track 6.
Track 6? Interesting.
Why?
Because I know how much you love this album.
Yeah.
But I didn't think this was like, I thought it would have been maybe the one with Kid Cudi or maybe even Ego Death.
Oh no, I don't even count Ego Death on this album. It's completely separate in my mind. But yeah, I love
maybe even the one with Young Thug. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I mean, I love this album and I love so many songs in this album, but this one just stands out to me as like it's the most well constructed song. It's got like more like elements that I like because obviously like Anderson .Paak's bit's really solid. Like that could be a whole song in itself. Yeah. Thundercat is amazing. Like it's got like some really good elements and just as a song as a whole, I feel it's like the best constructed song.
Fair enough.
Silence, don't talk to me. Too many questions, not enough answers. You want some more time? Don't want to talk to you.
Those little talk box bits.
I think that's my favourite aspect of the song, the talk box in the background.
What? It's tiny.
Even though it's got Anderson and Kanye and Thundercat, it's that talk box.
No long emails, no long texts.
I actually really like the fact that Kanye's verse is so subdued.
Why?
Because it's like so often he's just like so
at the moment he's very volatile.
I just feel like it's gonna be like so punchy. But I like the fact that he like matched Ty's energy on this.
Yeah, I mean, with
he
a song
didn't want to like overtake the song.
Yeah, you kind of have to on a song like this.
So I'm gonna be cheeky. I'm gonna play 3 parts as my favorite.
3 parts? Whoa, steady on.
Because it's a song in sections. You know what I mean?
Okay. I mean, there's so many people on the song that they have to cram in.
So my first favorite part is when Anderson comes in.
No, I shouldn't have stayed too long.
Yeah, I like this bit. It's like the detune.
It's the drums coming in as well, because Anderson's a great
drummer.
player, yeah. Who are you saying detuned? What?
As in, like, because the piano, they sound like off key.
Right. I mean, yeah, it is.
Please, little mama, it was me. It was all my fault. I should be more kind to my liver. I could barely.
My liver.
I love how he says liver.
Be
liver.
more kind to my liver.
And then perhaps my favorite bit is the bit at the end of Anderson's bit where he has like a little back and forth with Ty.
You called and he just said no. My pockets on big boy. My job was color seafoam. That finger was on you good for. I'm just show you more.
And then
more.
my third favorite part is Thundercat.
I mean,
Thundercat completes the song.
I mean, but he's been going ham in the background on that bass anyway. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that song.
Interesting.
I feel like because I love most of that album, but I feel like that one's going to be the one that's going to stand the test of time the most. That if I look back in like 5 years, I feel like this will be the most like memorable one. Do you get what I mean?
I get what you mean.
The others are a bit more like of the time.
I mean, I feel there's some, especially like the first bunch of tracks for me are like where some of the strongest in the album are.
Yeah.
And obviously it gets like more softer towards the end.
Right.
And towards the end is where you get more like the traditional straight up R&B songs. But
Yeah.
like the tune with with Kid Cudi, I think
that's a really good song.
Yeah,
that was a close contender for sure.
that would be my pick. But I mean, the people on that song alone, you can't not really fuck with it.
Exactly.
Okay, so this is my number 4, and I know that Andrew and Michael at Hummingbird had a couple of drill tracks in their list.
Okay.
But this is unequivocally the best drill song of 2020.
It's British, isn't it?
Of course it is. Also the best beat of the year.
This is such
the best
a beautiful
beat of the year.
It's so beautiful.
I love Chris Rich.
It's fucking... It's just how heavy it comes in as well.
There was a Jew in the air when the Bruce was getting the Bruce could have seen through bread. And my niners get round, they dread it. Know the friars step round and chill it.
Put my foot in the whip, level up and hit the stick. Tell the tooth I hit that prick.
Do you know what I love so much about it? Because all three artists have such distinct voices and sounds.
Right, yeah.
But it comes to... So, like, Unknown T has, for me, like, has, like, the best, like, delivery on the song.
Okay.
V9, who's just in now, the guy who wears the fucking Deadpool mask,
Right.
has such, like, a just menacing voice that it always
Right.
catches your attention. And then KO comes with, like, the best, like, rhymes.
Okay.
And it all comes together to form, like, one perfect package.
Right.
Bang for the team, would you bang the machine? Stay with a plan for the G. See me on a casual, the Nike in my jeans. For the battle, my damp in the tea. I hate when I run out of plastic bags in the traps, so I gotta use this for the tea. Roll with the tech on men,
Don't lean, we hold and press the machine.
What's your favourite part?
It's one of the bars that Unknown T spits.
Who was at fault and lost that hammer?
Got best of both like Hannah Montana. Roll with the Tanner cause it's too much passer. We be off the coon, they scatter. Long nose.
That was your favourite part, the Hannah Montana?
Yeah. Got best of both like Hannah Montana. That album is, I think, one of the most underrated albums of this. One of my favourite albums. It's so consistent. And it's his first album.
Was it dropped this year?
It dropped in summer.
Okay.
I remember because I listened to it the same day that Taylor Swift's Folklore album came out. Another fire album. Very different. But yeah, the best drill project of the year.
I feel like he's not as big yet as he deserves to be.
I mean, obviously, like last year he had the big, Unknown T, Hum and B tune, which was like, it was kind of like a viral hit. But like with his album now, I think he's slowly garnering. I mean, he's
so young as well.
Yeah, he's very well respected in the drill community. But now I think that respect is stretching outside just the drill community.
Yeah, this is my number 4.
Number 4.
Why are you looking at me like this?
Just because every time I hear this song, I get confused with Trippie Redd and Young Thugs. I'm fucking this bitch and she giving me, because it sounds like that should be the opening bars to this.
No, it doesn't.
It's the same flow. How does he start this song? I bought me a burger and something some loud. I'm fucking this bitch and she giving me. Also, I thought it would have been.
You thought Big James,
I
didn't you?
definitely thought Big James.
So
Big James.
I love Funeral, most of Funeral, when it dropped, and I rinsed it.
I know, yeah.
For a very long time. Like, Wayne was still one of my top artists of the year, even though I haven't listened to it in a little bit. But yeah, this one has. I was obsessed with Big James.
Yeah, you were. Did you ever play it for yourself?
Maybe,
Yeah.
but like it's I still love it. I still think it's great, but I'm not like as obsessed with it as I once was. Whereas this has stood the test of time a bit more. Whereas I'm still loving it.
I think I had a similar experience with you because when like I didn't love Funeral as much as you did, but there was still a handful of tracks I was listening to a lot.
Yeah.
And my favourite was
Mamma Mia?
No, it was Mahogany.
Mahogany,
And I was rinsing that, and then I was like, wait, no, Mamma Mia is the one.
Right, yeah. I mean, I think there are so many of them.
Yeah, there are.
They're so good.
There's just a bit too much fat to cut.
There
through.
was, yeah, but I just made a playlist of my album.
I pop me a perk and I'm smoking some loud. Yeah. I pop me a perk and I'm smoking some loud. Oh my god, I'm getting personal now. I'm about to sip on this until I drown.
Just like the bars are so good. His flow is just so good.
Yeah, this is one of the best flows on the album.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it keeps on flowing as well. Like it's a reasonably long song, and he keeps it flowing. And like the switch up is great. Remember when we first had the switch up?
Do you think the first or second beat is the better
The first is my preferred.
Yeah.
But the second is still really good.
Yeah.
And I like the way we mentioned it in the last video how he makes the hook from the first part fit onto the second part as well, and it sounds really fresh and exciting.
All of my jewelry is fucking ridiculous. I cannot really be
Seriously serious.
All of my goals take everything serious. Killing the staff and killing amphibians. Smoking this gas.
This might be my favourite set of bars.
What, this bit right here?
This bit is the happen it like an amphibian. That's my favourite part.
I see her ass all in my peripheral. Happen it like an amphibian. She working that ass continuous. I got a monogamous.
So obviously the switch up is great, but I'm going to take to the end of the song, the like climax of it.
Took a few L's without
Oh yeah.
It's tight, vagina tight. I'm a snap and send a pretty nigga, flick nigga, taunt you. I
Looking for that.
Oh my god, I'm getting personal now. I'm on the way too hard this time. They gotta give me a personal file.
So good.
But yeah, that's easily one of the best on the album. So my number 3 is my favourite like pop tune of the year.
Okay. I mean, this is kind of like disco, isn't it?
It's disco / pop.
Disco's been having a moment.
It has been having a moment, yeah.
If you want to know the truth, read my lips.
Do you know what? The first time I heard this, not just this song, but this album, because it's one of my favourite albums of the year, it conjured such a specific image and memory in my mind.
Okay.
And do you know what that image is?
No.
Like, I remember being a child, maybe like between the ages of like 9, 10, 11, like that kind of age. And like, you're not old enough to stay home on your own. So whenever like your mum goes to like, you know, a friend's like party or something, you have to chill there in the corner and just sip on your Pepsi or something. And the tunes are playing, but you can't do anything. So you're just listening to the tunes. This sounds like that image in my head.
I get your message on my phone. I need to talk to you face to face, cause
I like it when like pop and disco songs are like, they're happy and sad at the same time.
Okay,
Like there's some, I don't know what it is, but there's something kind of like melancholic about it, but you can still dance to it.
Right.
I like that.
That bass is great.
That bass is, it's
Bonk.
James Ford. He produced the whole thing.
Oh, okay. What's your favourite part?
It's, I mean, like a lot of the songs in the album, it gets to like a crescendo and like
Right.
a lot of backing vocals come in, and it's on one of the choruses.
you know I need you so. Read my lips, I can't let go.
It was unhealthy how much I rinsed this song. It was insane.
For me, the vocals aren't very punchy.
No,
It's very like
yeah, and that's what I
very,
like
like,
because
smooth.
usually in like disco, it's very loud and it's very in your face.
Right, yeah.
And I like because like there's a bit of everything. There's a bit of all like stages of disco on this album.
Right, okay.
And this is much more like somber and down tempo than you would expect, and that's why
right.
it brings these like two different emotions for me when I listen to it. I can dance to it, but I can also sit and like vibe to it.
Right. Okay, cool. Right, so this is my number 3.
Yeah. Interesting. Sorry. This almost made my list. This so nearly made my list.
Right.
It's James, it's the boy.
I just think the song's beautiful.
I think it's one of his best like, ever.
Yeah, I agree.
There's no 5 years. There's no 10 years. Queen of queens. There's no nights.
It's the way it comes in.
All I can do is trust her. Late nights, I can see the lust in her. Cracking scenes, cutting her view. Trip down the hill, strawberry fields. Are you even real?
For me, I think like because I mean, there's like that bit, that hook is like my favorite part, and I feel like it sounds like very like R&B inspired, which is something that you don't actually hear from James very often. But for me, I can hear the Travis in it.
I mean, you can hear a lot of James Blake's own distinct sound and his influences. But like what you mentioned about the R&B, I would actually argue against that. I think he takes a lot of not like R&B / soul influences.
Yeah.
Especially like 90s singers and even further back like Stevie Wonder in the way he plays like chords and shit. And I think you hear that a lot in his music, but I think it's way more in the background.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about his vocal lines.
Oh, his vocal lines. Oh, it's more. Yeah, he doesn't really do runs that obvious.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay,
Exactly.
Okay, I get what you mean. Yeah.
Now we're on the same page.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, like I can imagine Travis singing this. Do you know what I mean? Like I hear the Travis influence.
Yeah.
And maybe that's crazy, but like I remember when I first heard this, I was like, oh, it sounds like it's like.
I think that
a Travis feature.
maybe I would say only in the respect that the way he uses autotune is quite subtle.
Yeah.
Which obviously that's like Travis's whole sound.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's an overt like thing, but I think it's probably something that was in the back of his head, like working with him.
Yeah, I mean, when you're working with all these people, like he works with so many people when you think about it, especially in hip hop and R&B, he works with all these people. So for me, I really like the fact that you can see his influence here. Like you can hear the fucking Frank Ocean influence, you can hear the Travis influence, like you can hear it.
Yeah, which is good because like it goes like both ways. Like when you hear like a Frank tune that James Blake is what you hear the James Blake influence on
exactly.
there.
So I think that's, especially when it's like across different genres.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Well, maybe I
should study.
I'm gonna go to my favourite part now. These strings are so beautiful. Doesn't it give you goosebumps?
It does sometimes,
Those strings.
It's very dramatic.
It's like, no, but like that's the only dramatic thing about the whole song. Everything else is so...
Yeah.
Like
it takes you on a journey. It's not just...
Are you even...
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's a very, very solid choice. So, is this my runner-up?
This is your number 2, yeah.
Okay, this is a song that came out almost a year ago in January.
Oh, okay.
And it took me so long to like fully appreciate this album.
Right.
And once I was like, oh my god, this is one of the best albums of the year.
Okay.
Do you know, I love it when beats, like, they use the space. Right. So not every nook and cranny has to be filled. Like, what makes this beat so much better than it would have been is the silences.
Who produced this?
TSB.
TSB.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't have to find me if I'm looking for you, cause I'ma spin round there when there's nothing to do. It's a big conspiracy. Nah, it's not true.
Do you know, I not just about this song, like I remember, because this is the title song and it's the first song on the album. And I think it's a statement putting like a complete unknown on the first song of your sophomore album.
Right.
Because Common Sense came out and everyone over here at least fucking loved it.
Right.
And he'd garnered all this acclaim from like really big musicians. So the thing
who is the feature on this?
ICTGM.
Right.
Who I've
British
never heard.
artist?
Yeah, she's a singer.
Okay.
But like the temptation would be like, I just want everyone I know. I just want to get them on the album. I want to get Drake on there. I want to get Stormzy on there. I want to get whoever I can get. I want to get on there. And he picks his features. So there's only about 3 or 4 features in this album. He picks them so perfectly.
Never saw me in a suit, but I had a blazer. Everything I do, you know I do it major. Everybody looked like a secret agent, so I say no to drugs like Ronald Reagan. He's still deciding whether he's riding. The world is small, so...
What's your favourite part of the song?
I think it's ICTGM's hook. I like that. He also said you can be a jungle lion or a circus lion. You can be, so he's the jungle lion. You can be like a rapper who raps about like the things that they've actually gone through, or you can just be there to entertain people without actually telling people that it's a facade.
You don't have to find me if I'm looking for you. I'ma spin around there when there's nothing to do. Like I ain't got a clue. I'm in the lead for you, boo. 'Cause I'm sick and tired of lying to you.
And also, one more favourite bit is the little sax. TSB loves using saxophones in his tunes.
That's a real sax.
Yeah.
He didn't just put on a sax effect.
No. So much of J House's music is organic and uses a lot of live instruments.
Right.
Amazing
that's your
song.
number 2.
Amazing album.
Okay, so my number 2.
Your runner-up.
I think this one's going to be no surprise here.
Is it your boy?
It's my boy.
Okay.
My most rinsed album. But surprisingly, like for someone who I've rinsed, so I was in the top 0.1% of Don Toliver listeners. Like I rinsed it, but there isn't like for me. I love the whole album as a whole, and whenever I listen to it, I listen to the whole album.
Yeah.
So for me, there aren't that many like standout tracks. Like there's not like one that I can pick out. Like this is my standout track. You know what I mean?
I know exactly how you, because that was the same with me last year.
Right.
Like when Eagle came out last year, and because it's like that, it's under 40 minutes. You can just rinse the whole thing.
Exactly.
And when it came to like picking my favorite song from the album, I'm like, but they're all perfect. So what am I meant to do?
Exactly. It's so hard. So I had a few floating around. At one point, it was Cardigan because I love the like melodic lines and Cardigan stuff.
Cardigan.
Like there was a few in there that I was considering, but this is my most rinsed according to Spotify Wrapped. This is my most rinsed song of the year.
Okay, so I know what it is.
Yeah,
okay.
It's kind of the obvious one.
Okay.
Okay, I pull up, hop out at the after party. You and all your friends, so they love to get naughty. 1942, I take you back in that Rari.
It's just
it's the little skip in the beat. It doesn't go.
The way
it goes.
It kicks in because it's just so unexpected. You're expecting just a normal kick in,
Yeah.
but then it comes in with the brum 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 brum. Like it makes you feel so disorientated at first, but it's like just like so different.
Do you think? Because obviously the original version of this song had Travis on it. Do you think?
Did it?
Yeah. Have you not heard the leak?
There's a leak.
Yeah.
Travis on After Party.
Yeah. How have you? You're a stan. How have you not known this?
Shit, I missed that.
Oh.
Anyway, what was your question?
Well, you haven't heard it, so the question is void now.
Oh, I'll have to listen
Okay.
to it.
I will say, like, I do really enjoy this album, especially for a debut album. I think it's pretty good, and I think it's a very solid like starting point for his career because I think he's nailed his delivery and his sound.
Like no one else sounds.
Yeah,
like
I think
this.
he's nailed his delivery and his sound. I think the reason why there's no Don Toliver songs in my list is the only thing I think he needs to work on is the lyrics.
Right. Okay.
I think once he like progresses them, then I think he can like hit those like top.
You know, I've
hits.
really learnt this year that most of the time I don't give a shit about the lyrics. Like, yeah. I really thought I was a person that really cared about the lyrics, but I've really realised I don't really care.
I mean, for me,
for most songs, I don't care.
For me, it depends on like it depends what purpose the song. Obviously, this is like a turn up tune, and it's fine if the lyrics are just a bit standard rap trap tropes like I pull up to the after party all this stuff, and it's fine. But like if you want to progress, I think there has to be something more. Like it can't just be sound. If you want to,
I get
take
what
that
you
next
mean,
step.
but like just for me, for pure enjoyment, a lot of the time I'm just looking for something that sounds fire.
Yeah, of course. But like if you look at like Don Toliver's, like obviously, you know, Travis Scott is mentoring him, and I think the reason Travis Scott has hit those insane heights is because he'd perfected his sound and he progressed that sound, but also his lyricism got better and better and better.
That's true. But yeah, Don's only just starting.
Exactly,
really,
yeah.
so
That's
he's
why
got
I said this is a
long way
very
to go.
good starting point for a career.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to take me to my favourite part. I mean, Mike Dean killed this whole
Mish
album.
Den.
That's the way it feels.
Burning up. Okay, I pull up. Sipping on
Love
it
that
in the Bacardi.
It's addictive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very addictive. Yeah.
That's, I think Don's really good at that. Really good at the addictive melodies. But the video was very disappointing for this.
Yeah, the video was just very generic. Yeah.
It's just a bit. The song deserves so much
Yeah,
more.
but you know, it's fine.
But apart from that, yeah, fire.
Cool.
So that's your number one.
Yeah,
I'm getting ready to turn up to SpongeBob.
Krabby Step to the left, to the left. That is such a tune.
That hasn't come yet, so I'm guessing it's your number one.
Do you know what? It was in the running. I'm not gonna lie. It's in like the 40s or 50s. I'm not gonna lie to you.
40s or 50s.
Yeah. But I think you know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of Travis Scott, Travis Scott was my most played artist of 2020
From
because
one
of this song.
That's
I rinsed
insane.
it. There was like 3 or 4 times where I went to the gym, and every time I'd spend like an hour in there, and this was the only song I played.
That's like your top played artist.
From one song.
One song.
Yeah.
That's insane. But considering the amount of music that you listen to,
Yeah.
that's insane.
Yeah. There's levels.
You probably know every single note of this.
I rinsed this, and I saw the film 5 times as well, and it was even better when you
It was
listen
a
to it in
very
the
good
fucking
film.
Armac speakers.
Yeah.
Don't know where we start. Know the pain. It's very rare. Like obviously, you know when you have like a big artist attached to a film, and usually the song can just sound like tacked on or like they're phoning it in, but. It's very rare that I've heard a song that just fits the aesthetic of a film so perfectly. It's ridiculous.
It's Ludwig, isn't it?
Yeah, it's because this beat is part of the score.
Yeah, exactly.
So they took part of the score, and he was like, "I'm going to repurpose this
Right,
for Travis Scott," and then they worked his vocals into the fucking score of the film.
Right, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
When it kicks in.
I done went back in myself, felt like hell, fuck her wrist, pitch yourself. Now the vibe of the way with the sound like
This is one of those songs where there is again, like bring it back to other, because obviously you have to listen to the song in the context of like the fact that it's attached to a film. When you have like theme songs for films, you can always imagine, I can imagine this doing it better. This would have sung it like this way. There's no one else I can imagine even attempting to go on this instrumental. Like, there's no one.
I do love his skirt.
Yeah, skirt. You know, skirt.
What's your favourite part of the song?
It's the whole fucking thing, man.
His melodic lines when he's like, draw the line.
Oh, when he does like double time.
Close the opera. Hear the red and blue outside. I think our options.
And he links it to the film.
The red and blue.
He said close the opera, which is the opening scene.
Yeah, no, because he saw the film before
Yeah,
he made the song.
but then he said hear the red and blue outside, which has a double meaning because the police are coming, but also
they used red and blue. As
red and
motifs.
blue to signify what's forward and what's backwards.
Yeah.
It's all fucking linked, man.
I feel like they've not only did he see the film before he made it, I also feel like he had like an in-depth discussion with Christopher Nolan.
You would imagine so, yeah.
But on first watch, you don't get that red and blue thing. Like you have to...
Yeah, you don't get that
You have
motif,
to see it a few times or you have to talk it through. Like I feel like he talked through
Yeah, of course.
like
because
all the
they're
different nuances.
Because like they're both in their respective like fields of art. They're both very like meticulous in what they do.
Right, yeah.
And bringing those two people together, they're gonna have like these in-depth discussions.
Move in verse on my turf, I'm out of line. I put in work, I draw the line and cross it first.
Again. Skirt. But again, he links it back into the film. He says, "I draw the line and I cross it first." because he's inverted.
Mm.
He drew the line first.
It's he does have amazing lyricism. Like, because I enjoy his music so much, just like as music, I haven't really thought about it before about how good his lyricism is.
This is why I think that Travis Scott is a very underrated lyricist, because his sound is so addictive.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you can just vibe out like,
Exactly.
oh shit. But then when you listen to what he's saying, you're like, do you know what? He's a pretty good rapper as well.
Yeah, it's like we forget.
Yeah.
In your eyes, I see your tricks, I run away, then you
I'm just gonna go to the end.
I was vibing.
Sorry. It's when those fucking synths come in. So it swells.
So are these synths Mike Dean?
Mike Dean's not involved in this
so
song.
Just Ludwig.
It's Ludwig Göransson and Wonder Girl.
That's why Mike Dean mixed it, didn't he?
He mixes Travis's vocals for everything.
Right. Oh, it's Wonder Girl. Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, Wonder Girl and Ludwig.
Okay, cool.
It's insane.
It's sick.
I think this is such an underrated song from this year. No one talks about this song.
For me personally, I don't rinse this song because for me it's inherently linked with the film.
Yeah, of course. But for me, I listen to the soundtrack just like recreationally separate from the film.
I've never done that for any film. I've never done that.
Yeah, see, I do that a lot. For me, if it's good enough, it can exist like separate.
Right. Yeah.
From the film it's attached to.
Yeah. No, it probably is underrated.
Yeah, that's my number one.
Okay.
I do you know. I have no fucking idea what your number one is.
No, I think you're going to be surprised by this.
In a good way or a bad way? Is it going to itch me?
Just don't judge me.
I'm not going to judge you. Don't judge me. Wait. Let it play.
Baby, you can twinkle in my phone.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
Oh my! Is this the one with Young Thug? Yeah. Okay.
I knew you were going to judge me for it.
I'm not judging you, no.
You are judging me.
No, I'm not judging you.
You are.
How can I judge you? I'm one of the biggest Trippie Redd stans walking on this fucking planet. I'm just surprised because...
I mean, it didn't come out that long ago, which is why I was a bit like, oh, should I put it as my number one? Because it's like...
if you fuck with it, you fuck with it.
It's not, it's like, I have like a really strong emotional connection to this song.
Yeah?
It makes me cry almost every single time I listen
Seriously?
to it. Yeah.
Not like the last song, Sun God. Like that's the only one on the album.
That one's beautiful, but I don't have that connection with it. And I'm going to go completely against what I said in the last song. And the reason I love this so much is the lyrics. I don't know.
Hypocrite!
But the lyrics really hit home for me.
Okay, I am surprised because I remember when we reacted to it, your reaction wasn't like...
No, because I wasn't listening to the lyrics.
Yeah.
That's the thing. When I listen to things for the first time, most of the time I'm not listening to the lyrics. Okay. Which is why you pick up on bars and I don't.
I mean, I completely understand the choice. I understand when you have a connection to the lyrics specifically, but for me, but it's just I struggle with Pegasus so much because I think that it's one of Trippie's weaker projects, but there's some of his best songs in there. And that's why I struggled. I didn't go back to it as much as I imagined I would as a Trippie fan.
We're different kind of Trippie fans. I mean, obviously I came much later than you.
Yeah,
but also, I think that he gets better with everything he does. I can see the improvement. Whereas you're stuck on A Love Letter to You 3.
No, I'm not stuck. I think Trippie Redd goes like this. I think he goes do. So I think
I disagree. I feel like he's getting better with every project.
I disagree. I
don't even like A Love Letter to You 3.
Are you insane?
No, but I'm saying we come across.
Yeah, we
and
do.
It's completely different. I think he's getting better and better.
So you think exclamation mark was better than Love Letter 2-3?
Yeah,
that's insane.
No, it's not.
I think he was it's for me. The next project is going to be good. So it was good. Then exclamation mark.
He's bringing out a rock album.
Yeah.
Next.
Then A Love Letter to You 4 was good. Now there's this, which means the next one will be good.
I disagree.
I just think when you release at such insane volumes as someone like Trippie Redd does, it's hard for everything to maintain consistency. Just for me personally. I understand the choice.
I think he's an amazing artist, and I honestly think, and he's still so young. I feel like he's still got so long to go. I think he's just going to be one of the biggest artists in the world because of how talented he is.
I mean, more than likely, yeah.
Yeah.
I swear I don't feel it. It could get real.
I think that's the bit that resonates with me the most because I struggle with anxiety a lot. And it's that's what he's talking about. He's like, I swear I don't feel here, that feeling numb.
Yeah.
And it can get real weird in your own head kind of thing. And I completely sympathise with that.
I just flew 2 bitches in from overseas. They both from Portugal, they both Portuguese.
That bar always... That bar is
Why
silly.
couldn't he say they're Brazilian? They speak
He
Portuguese.
said, I flew them in from Portugal. They're both Portuguese. It's still
Yeah.
funny, though. I like the bar.
You could have tweaked it, I think.
Hold on, wait, I'm just chilling with your main bitch, yeah. Hold on, I'm the golden on the greatest,
Yeah.
That's because my mind, it be racing, yeah.
That's because my mind it be racing. Yeah.
That is what it's like in my mind. So I'm going to go to my favourite part.
Do you know? Do you know what Trippie Redd is for me? The reason I still rinse him so much, no matter what project he brings, like even if I think it's not as good as the last one, Trippie Redd is like pizza. If you get an average pizza, it's still pizza. It's still good. Do you know what I mean?
I'm going to play my favourite
Go
bit,
for it.
okay? Stop talking about pizza. You're making me hungry.
I want fucking pizza now.
This is the bit that always makes me cry, just before one.
I don't want to be nowhere near when you cry. Keep it real, I bought you a ring last night. And if I'm not with you, I can get a high. Baby, you can quit calling my phone. Ain't no more loving back home. I swear I don't feel it. We can get real. Being trapped in my head. Being trapped in my head.
Because he's like so like because Thug is obviously he's saying the same thing that Trippie says at the beginning, but he's like so emotive.
Yeah.
Like Thug is like his voice is incredible because it's just like so emotive, and then you get all these fucking strings, which just sends me. It sends me. I'm gonna stop it now.
Yeah. No, I understand. Like of the songs that I saved from Pegasus, this was one of the songs. So
Okay.
like I do like this song, but it is a surprising pick.
I thought it would be.
Yeah. There's one song I have to mention that couldn't be on the list because we started making the list before it came out. Do you want to know?
It made your top 20,
No,
even though you've only heard it a handful of
It
times.
would have made my top 20 if it had come out before we'd already made our list. So
You're not going to say a Cuddy song, are
it is
you?
a Cuddy song, yeah.
Nah.
What do you mean, nah? I respect your choices. I did. I said I liked the song and I understood why it was in your list.
Okay, which Cuddy song?
September 16th.
I don't remember which one that is.
It's the fucking, oh boy. It's so bittersweet. It's so emotional. And it's co-produced by Phineas.
Okay.
It's so spacey. It's for that song, spaceship. That's my spaceships. Put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's time to react to Hummingbird's 10 to 6.
What's up? Welcome back to Hummingbird YouTube channel. We're really excited to be coming at you with another video in our top 20 songs of 2020 series. All right, for my number 10, I have Like My Daddy by D-Smoke coming off.
So another D-Smoke
Another
tune.
D-Smoke.
Did you hear this? You didn't hear the album, did you?
No.
I think people might think he's a little bit washed up or too industry or anything like that, but I think as soon as you check out Black Habits, you realize that he's just an elite rapper, and that's really
I think
I really like
that-
the song
How
Like
could
My
you be
Daddy.
washed up? Isn't he only just started?
I mean, because he's very late in the game. He's in his like mid 30s
Oh, yeah,
already.
I suppose
He's
so,
he's
yeah.
obviously just started. But I think like listening to that song, I think the most interesting aspect is the beat. Like the way the drums are like sequenced is very, very strange. But for the reason I have a hard time getting into D-Smoke is D-Smoke. The reason I have a hard time getting into D-Smoke's music is I feel like his ironic, even though he did win rhythm and flow, I think his flow can be quite clunky
Okay.
at times. And I can see that he is a very talented songwriter, but I think sometimes the delivery and the way he packages it can be derivative at times.
Okay.
But that's just on a personal level. But his lyrics are very good.
It's kind of a gimmick to have a show like that, but D-Smoke isn't a gimmick.
I do feel like doing that show probably wasn't the best, but even though it did get him exposure,
Yeah.
it's like it kind of did seem like he was a plant, didn't it?
I mean,
So now
yeah.
I kind of see him like as an industry plant.
Yeah, I mean, it's, obviously, like from his perspective, it can be hard to overcome that stigma.
Yeah.
And that can be a boundary for him. So I don't think that should be held against him in the
No,
slightest.
not at all.
But his brother is signed to TDE. He shouldn't have had a hard time like getting his foot in the door.
Right, yeah, exactly.
At number 10, I got Shots Fired by Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh.
This
Good choice.
Is it?
Good choice. This is the first song from Good News, and
Okay.
she just obliterates Tory
Oh,
Lanez.
this is the one with the she addresses.
Yeah,
all
she
the names.
with
Right,
the
okay.
Who Shot You Biggie beat.
Right.
It's easily I don't know. It's easily the best. The album was not very good, but that song is amazing.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty much a diss track against that bastard Tory Lanez. You know me, I've been calling him the
I love that bastard.
I mean, he
Tory
is a
Lanez.
prick.
Facts.
Like, he is a prick. He spent his whole album like just fucking like meandering, like like look at me, like shut up.
Nah, done.
On my number 9, I got Entrepreneur by Pharrell Williams featuring Jay-Z.
I'm sorry. These lists have been very strong thus far. Very strong thus far.
That was like the worst song of the year.
Entrepreneur is the worst Pharrell song I've ever heard in my life. The hook was terrible. What was the hook? Black man. That tune. I'm sorry. Like, your picks have been so good up to this point.
Well, let's hear why.
I know, yeah, I know. I want, because I'd love to hear why someone fucks with this song so much, because
exactly.
it's a fine line between really hating something and really fucking with something.
I know that sounds like a hot take. I know this song didn't get a lot of love.
It's a hot take
around there, but
I understand what they were going with the song, and obviously it's an important message.
Yeah.
It's an honorable like thing to stand up and say, but like, just don't be, you know. There's better ways. To
I think
deliver
I think the song, like, it conjured such a visceral reaction to me because I love Pharrell and Jay-Z so much already. If this was someone that I didn't know, I'd be like, it's okay.
Right.
That's what I would have thought.
Yeah.
The other thing that really does it for me with the song is the video that comes along with it. Just like the way
Video's the best bit.
Yeah.
You know, the type of song.
It's
that
Jay-Z's
Show
God that gets it for me.
My number 9 is the reason I'm wearing this shirt right now. Shout out to Dayon Green. It's his song Free, which was a single off of his debut album Me that came out this past summer.
Let's go and listen.
So have you heard of?
No, never heard of this
Dayon
artist.
Green?
No.
Okay. Those guitars were going a bit
Yeah,
hard, weren't they?
It kind of gives me like a Pivot Gang vibe.
Yeah, literally. I was about to say he sounds like Saba and Smino combined.
Yeah. I like that song.
Yeah, sounds good.
Not just talking, I'm trying to be freer than a slave in June on the 19th day.
For my number 8, I got Nike Shoebox by Lou Phelps. I'm gonna start off as
Who's that?
Never heard.
That's
Let's listen. Oh, with Kate Renata.
Oh, it's produced by Kitchenada?
Apparently. It doesn't sound like a traditional straight up Kate Renata beat.
No,
to me,
not
it's
really.
something different from him, isn't it?
It is.
Lou, brother of my favorite artist of all time, Kate Renata. These two.
Oh, it's his brother!
in this project really show.
That makes sense.
Oh, interesting.
I didn't know Kate Renata's brother made music.
And of course, you know that Kate beat is one that I think all rappers would want to hop on.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's classic and new. That's the kind of beat it is.
My number 8 is Minding My Business by Knowledge.
Oh, okay.
Featuring Duran Bernard and Rose Gold. It's a really beautiful song.
I didn't know that Knowledge released anything
You
this
fuck
year.
with Knowledge a lot, don't you?
I used to. I just didn't know that they dropped anything.
That is the most 90s like vocal line I've heard. In
He's got an
ages.
amazing voice,
Yeah.
though, doesn't he?
As we all saw this summer, it can be really difficult to pretty much quarantine in a living situation with the same people for months on end, and when that happens, the smallest things can kind of start bothering you.
That is the
And
biggest
this song,
facts in the
Minding My
world.
Business,
Okay, there's no need to be mean.
No, I'm not directing it at you. I'm just saying in general.
Can you believe this guy?
7, I got Wildfires by Salt. Big shout out to Salt. I think this.
Wildfires by Salt.
Let's go listen. Oh, Salt. This artist dropped 2 albums. I've heard about it so much, and I haven't got around to listen to it.
Oh, okay.
That voice is
Okay, so
amazing.
It's a female
That
artist.
voice is
She's
amazing.
amazing, but I like that bass line as well.
There's no names. There's no faces. They don't.
I love that
Tell
mysterious
you when
shit.
to listen to music. They just do it.
My number 7 is Cut Me by Moses Sumney.
Good, big
Uh,
tune. Very. I think this is the one he did the Colours show for.
Okay.
I think this is the best on the album. Well, on the
is
double
this-
album.
So yeah, is this on part 1 or 2?
I think it was part 1. I'm not sure though. They dropped a couple of months apart, but this was easily my favorite on the
Okay.
project.
But I guess the cherry on top of the cake are his vocals. They're just soaring and so clear.
No one sings like
It's
Moses
impossible
Sunday. No
not
one.
to.
At my number 6, I got Yamame by Nathy Peluso.
It's real jazzy.
It's like
isn't it?
Latin jazz soul kind of shit.
At number 6, I have Friends by Tiana Taylor.
This is
representing
what
my-
she
I
dropped
think I've
the
heard this
album.
album.
She dropped the album.
Yeah.
I remember. I think I heard this album once, but because it was so long, it was
Right.
very long.
Okay.
I struggled to get through it multiple times, and there were things that dropped around it that
Right.
that
Yeah.
I was fucking with heavy. So I only heard the songs on that album maybe like once or twice.
Okay.
She really shows her ability to rap on this song.
Yeah, I haven't heard Tiana Taylor rapping that often. But it's nice to hear.
Okay.
Interesting
Cool.
picks.
Very interesting. I was so shocked by that Entrepreneur.
I was very struck by Entrepreneur, you know.
Because I'd forgotten that song came out, and then as soon as I was reminded, I was like, "Oh no!"
Yeah, I mean, you can see from our reaction that
Yeah,
it wasn't a song that we fucked with, but it's interesting to see how you can have such a strong and then someone else can hear the exact same thing and have completely different things.
Yeah,
from it.
it's very interesting. I mean, that's the power of music, isn't it?
Exactly.
Okay, cool. So we'll be releasing a bonus video next week just so that we can react to Hummingbird's 5 to 1s, which should be very interesting.
Make sure to like, subscribe, and dong the bell.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.